Hello, my name is Charles Ardinger, and I'll be working with you in this semester's English 100 class as your instructor. I'm making this little video presentation in order to introduce myself to you and also to discuss some aspects of the class you're about to start. So, I'll begin again by introducing myself. Charles Ardinger, hello. I've been here at Coastline since 2013 in the English department, working in composition classes of the kind you're about to start. I love doing it, mostly because I love English grammar. I'm in fact an expert on English grammar. It's something I enjoy talking about. It's something I enjoy reading about and thinking about. And so, if you have any questions about English grammar as we continue, I very much hope that you'll ask me, because I'm interested in having that discussion. So, with that out of the way, you know now a little bit more about me, and I'll be learning a little bit more about you as we continue. But before we start that process, let me show you a few aspects of our class. And to do that, I'd like to show you our home page. So, this is our home page. And there are 4 aspects of it that I want to acquaint you with to help you work in the class more easily. The first of these is right here under where it says Recent Announcements. These are announcements. To find the announcements, you'd simply look on the home page, and to read more of them, simply find the title of the announcement and click on it. It will take you to a page that looks like this, and you'll have a chance to read the announcements that I make. These are little pieces of prose that I will post at least once a week to discuss issues of grammar or other issues that I see in the class. It's really in your best interest to keep on top of these announcements, to read them, and to indeed think about them, because it's part of our communication in the class. The next thing I want to show you is how I will respond to your work. Another way that we'll communicate in class is by your submitting assignments and my evaluating those assignments and telling you what I think about them. And so you'll want to know what I think. The way to find that out is to go to this link that says Grades. Now you'll notice that there's a 1 after this Grades. That means that this student has already submitted an assignment. It's okay. It's a made-up student. It's me. The class hasn't really started yet. Don't worry too much. By clicking on this, we go to a page that lists all the assignments in the class. So there's an introduction discussion that's coming up. There's a quiz. There's a contract you'll have to sign, and here, at this blue dot, signifying new thing, is the first assignment. What do you want to learn? Now, this student has got a 90% out of 100 on this assignment, so we'd certainly like to take a closer look and see what's going on. A way to do that is to click on the title of the assignment and go to a page that looks like this. Notice that you see a comment in this area on the assignment. I'll be making this kind of comment on each of your assignments, telling you what I think about it and giving you advice for future assignments. But also, if you'd like to look at more detailed feedback, you can click this link that says View Feedback, and you'll get a much smaller version of the assignment that you submitted. Now, this is looking particularly small because the window that I have to make these videos is fairly small. I'm hoping that you'll see it in larger text when you look at your own assignments, and if not, please let me know, and I'll figure out something to do about it. Notice that, in this kind of assignment, I can comment in 2 ways. First, I can make an annotation, which you will see between the typed lines of your assignments. What I will do with these annotations is make suggestions about how you can use more academic grammar in a sentence, or how you can word a sentence to make it easier to understand. Basically, it's the kind of thing that an instructor would write on your paper in a non-online class. Also, there are these highlighted annotations. You'll notice that there's a highlight here and that it leads to this text box over here. These are useful when I have too much to say to get between those lines of typed text. So if I have a longer comment, I will make either a highlighted annotation or I'll make it over here in the comments box. Finally, making this go away, I want to point out that you can look at the rubric that I use for grading your assignments. A rubric is a set of standardized criteria that have particular scores assigned to them. In this case, you'll notice that the rubric asks about how the paragraph follows a pattern, how the outline follows a pattern, how the paragraph follows an outline, and, of course, what grammar the sentence is used. You notice this particular student didn't do as well as he could have on this first criterion. Got a 3 out of 5. So that's something to work on for the next assignment. So I hope that that will help you as we continue in class to look at the kind of feedback I'm giving you on your assignments and to keep developing your skills as we continue. Third, I'd like to point out that on the home page, there is in fact a list of every assignment in the class. You notice also that the list is organized by date. So, for instance, there is a meeting, which I'll tell you about in a few minutes, on this date. There's a discussion on this date, and there's a bunch of stuff due on this date. So, as you continue through class, it should be pretty easy to keep informed on what due dates are, because they're right here on the home page. You can look right at them. But you might want to get in closer touch with me. You might want to communicate in a more personal way than what I've described. The idea that you're giving assignments and I'm giving feedback, or that I'm giving announcements and that you're reading them, or that we're participating in discussions. In fact, I have in this class a student visiting time. And what this means is that I am going to be available in a Zoom meeting that you can join at particular times of the week. In this case, I'll be there on Thursdays between 6:30 and 8 p.m. Pacific time, or if you like military time, between 8:30 and 2000. To access that meeting, what you would do is click this link that says CCCD Zoom, and that will take you to a page that contains a schedule of meetings. Notice that there's a meeting on Thursday, February 3rd, that you can, by clicking this button, join. Now, I'll only be in this Zoom meeting between 6:30 and 8, so don't worry about getting there on Monday, for instance. During these meetings, we can have conversations. We can talk about things that are going on in the class, or things that are going on in the world, or things that are going on in your life or my life. It's an opportunity to interact with me on a personal kind of level, to develop a closer relationship than most online classes would allow. There's kind of that distance between us, which I'm hoping that these student visiting times will help, what's the word I'm looking for? Shrink somewhat. So for that reason, I recommend coming to these student visiting time meetings. Also, each meeting is worth 5 points of extra credit, so this might be a way for you to feel better about your grade in this class. So those are the 4 things that I wanted to mention. The announcements, the grades, the schedule, and you'll notice that there's also a schedule on the right side of the page here, and the student visiting time. And I hope that what I've said here will be helpful to you as we continue through class. Remember that you have my email address and that I will respond to messages you send. Remember that you can get in touch with me through student visiting time. And remember that whenever you have a question, I very much want to answer it. I look forward to working with you over the course of this semester, and I'd like to thank you for your time and attention.